Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of the Mid-America PTTC podcast. Before we get into the content, we would like to thank our funder, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. And a quick note, although funded by SAMHSA, the content of this recording does not necessarily reflect the views of SAMHSA. I'm your host, Dave Clausen, and I am the director of the Mid-America Prevention Technology Transfer Center. Today, we are speaking with Alicia Ozenberger, the Deputy Director of ACT Missouri. Now, ACT Missouri is a private not-for-profit corporation established in 1991 to promote drug and alcohol awareness throughout Missouri. They work with great community groups across the state to spread the message about making healthy choices. Now, ACT Missouri also partners with national organizations like SAD and the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids. They have a network of regional support centers and community coalitions that they support, serving as their communication hub. And they collaborate with other statewide agencies like the Missouri Pharmacy Association, Missouri Alliance for Drug Endangered Children, and the Missouri Department of Transportation. Now, in this episode, we'll discuss the benefits and the power of building a network. We'll share how that is very similar to our approach with the TTC network. And we'll get some advice for a prevention professional at the regional and at the community level. And lastly, we'll talk about an exciting new training ACT Missouri is offering their network and how that is a direct result of building strong partnerships. Now, without further ado, let's get into the content. All right. Welcome to the podcast, Alicia. Thanks for joining us. All right. Wonderful. Now, if you don't mind, for those that have not met you before or know a little bit about your background, would you just share a little bit about where you've worked and what you're currently doing?
Sure. My name is Alicia Ozenberger, and I've been with ACT Missouri for over 15 years now. I actually started off we had a program that focused solely on underage drinking prevention, and it was a statewide program, and that's what I did, and just kind of worked my way up, and I'm now the deputy director here at ACT Missouri. I've worked in nonprofits a majority of my life, almost all of my life, so it's kind of got a special place in my heart. Not-for-profits do. I graduated from Missouri Western State University in St. Joseph, Missouri, and I got my master's at Stevens College in Columbia, Missouri, and I'm a licensed professional counselor as well.
All right. Sounds like some strong ties to the state. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, that first program you started out with as well, it sounds like you've got a lot of experience over the years with statewide programs, sort of, as you said, climbing the ranks, working your way up. Where you're at now with ACT Missouri, could you share us a little bit about, what ACT Missouri is and what you do?
Sure. ACT Missouri has been around since 1991. We're a not-for-profit organization, and we're the statewide training technical resource center for the state of Missouri. And you'll probably be like, what does that mean? Well, our state is set up. We have ACT Missouri, that is the statewide training resource center. And then we have 10 prevention resource centers around the state that serve, we're now up to almost 170 coalitions around the state. And those are community coalitions. We have a few that are countywide, but most of them are in like a town, a city. And it's community members that come together to fight some sort of a problem that is affecting our youth, whether it be drug use or violence or bullying, something like that. These caring adults come together and decide by data what their issues are, and then they formulate programs to help alleviate the issue that they picked.
All right. Well, it sounds very familiar. It sounds like really leveraging that power of a network to get the training, the support, and to really drive that change clear down at the community level. Now, how would you sort of break down and describe those three main roles? So you've got ACT Missouri, your regional centers, the 10 of those, and then your community coalitions, how do they work together to really build that network and power it to create that change?
Sure. That's a great question. We at ACT Missouri, since we are the statewide training resource center, we get information and other trainings through our national partnerships that we have. We're members of CADCA. We're the state affiliate for the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids. We are the state coordinator for SAD, which is Students Against Destructive Decisions. So we take that national information and we kind of compile it and push it down to the prevention resource centers. And we pick and choose like stuff that they can use at their level, because not all statewide resource stuff will apply to them because their communities are a little bit different. And we also do that with trainings as well. We do a needs assessment for our prevention resource centers and ask them what kind of trainings that they would like to have. And then we try and provide them to our prevention resource centers so they can be on top of the cutting edge of prevention. So then, in turn, once we have our prevention resource centers trained, then they can go out into their communities and help their coalitions build coalitions, do programming in their community, and thrive, again, to make their environment safer.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It makes me happy. It sounds pretty much just like the intentions behind the new technology transfer center model. So for those listening, that's a great way. Alicia really broke it down. Our job is to compile and send those resources, those tools, those toolkits, the checklists, and everything to help the states and folks in our region better do training and services at their level. Great job for summarizing that for me.
You're welcome.
What are some of the benefits that you've seen from that model, the regional to community coalition model that you have?
Benefits are the prevention resource centers are in their communities, so they know what's going on. It's not the state, if you will, coming in and saying you need to do this, this, and this. They are in that community, so they know what's going on, but they have the expertise because of the trainings that we have brought in and Department of Mental Health has brought in for them. So they have the expertise then to help their community members there at ground zero, if you will.
All right. Sounds like capacity building.
Yes, sir.
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, knowing that you work at the ACT Missouri level, any advice you would have for somebody at one of your regional centers as far as tips for them to be successful in their roles?
I think probably the biggest thing whenever we talk about mobilizing folks and trying to build the coalition is to listen to the folks that are in the community, because they truly know what's going on, and involve kids. Kids know exactly what's going on. Parents always, it seems like they find out like 2 weeks later and they say something to the kids. They're like, oh yeah, we knew that was going on. So it's really about getting into the community to find out what their needs are and what you can do for them. And a lot of our prevention resource centers do a fabulous job of this. So just keeping that work up is just vital.
All right. I would love to piggyback off of that to all of our listeners. That is exactly what we want to do here at the Mid-America Prevention Technology Transfer Center. We want to hear from you. Our services and our content is going to be driven by your feedback, your thoughts, your ideas from our region. We're trying to create multiple means to be able to listen to our region. So don't be shy. Always want to encourage you to reach out and say hi and let us know what's going on in your area. All right, sorry about that quick sidebar. Still want to get that out there as we build our network. Now, I know just from being close with ACT Missouri, y'all have a lot going on. I feel like every other week, either one of your resource centers is doing a training or you at ACT Missouri are doing a training. Is there anything going on in the near future that you just really want to just highlight? Now, this is shout out time. What awesome thing is coming up?
I absolutely do. So in creating those partnerships, one that we are very proud of that has it come back to Missouri, if you will, is the National Guard Counter Drug. They went away, and Missouri didn't have a program for a while, and just within the past couple of years, they've revitalized it. And we actually have 2 National Guard Counter Drug folks in our office. And one of the things that they have done is they have partnered with us to bring the developmental assets training of the trainer to Missouri. That was one of those programs when we when we talked to the PRCs, that was one that they really wanted across the state. So we were able to partner with the National Guard and bring that to Missouri, and that will be June 18th and 19th here in Jefferson City. So we're super excited about that.
Now, is that event open to the public? Can folks register for that if they're interested, or is it already filled?
It is almost completely filled. So that's how much of a demand we had here in Missouri for wanting this program.
That is awesome. This program, I feel like, is a perfect example of listening to the community, and then use ACT Missouri going out and creating those great partnerships to be able to bring that training there.
It was great, and we're beyond excited.
When it comes to prevention, relationships, partnerships are so valuable, so valuable.
Absolutely.
For us here at the PTTC, we're also working with the National Guard. I had a call this morning with the National Guard Bureau as well to discuss future partnerships. So Mid-America region, stay tuned. We've got some exciting new partnerships coming up and new trainings and services ready to launch. All right.
That's so exciting because they're such a resource.
They really are, and they are driving forward, building capacity across the country when it comes to prevention and evidence-based prevention practices. They're a great resource. If you don't know your local counter drug team, reach out to me and I'll put you in touch with them because they're awesome. All right. Well, do you have any final thoughts for us, Alicia?
No, not really. We're just, like you said, we're busy this time of year, so hanging in there.
All right. And is your website, actmissouri.org, the best place for folks to find out more and get in touch with you?
Yes. You can go to actmissouri.org, and if you would like a telephone number, it is down at the bottom to contact us, but swing by and look at all the resources we have online too. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
All right. It's a great resource. It really is. And I will drop that address in the show notes. All right. Well, wonderful. I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule there at ACT Missouri, and look forward to our paths crossing in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you.